my name is Joelle, and today I'll be taking you through a yoga practice. If yoga is new to you, don't worry, we'll be doing everything together really slowly and gently, and I'll offer up some modifications so that you can find what works best for you and your body. I encourage you in all of our practices to be mindful of your vascular access points. Always make sure that they're safe, and also listen to your body. If at any point you start to feel dizzy or if something feels painful, then please stop and check with your doctor before continuing. You're always welcome at any point to take a rest for a few breaths and meet us later on in the practice. And if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Welcome back to another Yin Yoga practice where we will hold a few different deep stretches for several minutes at a time, giving the body a real chance to release and relax. We're going to begin seated. I would encourage you to have one or maybe two pillows nearby or a rolled up blanket, just anything that you can have on hand in case you'd like it for additional comfort. And our first posture for today is going to be Dragonfly Pose. So in Dragonfly, we have the legs out in front of us, and they can be open any amount. So we're all different people in different bodies, so for some of us, that's going to mean we have a little pizza slice for today, and for others, we might bring the legs a little bit further apart. Anywhere at all that you can keep the spine straight is fine. You can also sit up on your pillow if you'd like, or you can lean the back against a wall. So once you've found what works for you today, finding your expression of the pose, finding the edge about 2/3 of your maximum, 4 or 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, we find stillness. And that can mean a little bit of shifting or experimenting, maybe wiggling around, whatever feels right. Maybe it's appropriate for some of us to slightly move the upper body forwards. Maybe it's nice to find length in the spine. Anywhere at all is exactly where you need to be right now and right here. So close the eyes. Notice the breath without trying too hard to control it or change it in any way. In Yin Yoga, we give our bodies and minds time to adjust, perhaps to positions that they are less familiar with. And one of the primary benefits of Yin Yoga is that Yin counters the Yang of our everyday lives. In other words, with all of the Yang, with all of the activity, the rushing around, the obligations, the pressures that we all have, Yin gives us a chance to lean in the other direction, bringing us back into better overall balance thanks to stillness and calm. We live in a very Yang world. And sometimes it's nice to stop, to slow down, and to breathe. And I invite you to open the eyes. We'll come towards our next posture very slowly. So depending on how wide apart your legs were, you could place one hand under one knee and just kind of help that leg back a little bit closer to center. And doing the same on the other side. I always like to take a little rock here from side to side. to shake that off. And our next posture is called half saddle pose. So again, this will look a little bit different on each body. The full expression of saddle pose, we bring the right foot back close to the right hip and the left leg stays long. For some of us, having our pillow nearby on the left side means we can lean into it, supporting ourselves on the forearm, or maybe even lying down on top of it, depending on the size of your pillow. And that's giving us a little bit more space here in that right quadriceps. So experiment with that. You can also open up the left leg if that feels better. It doesn't really matter what this leg is doing. Just looking for a little bit of a sensation here in the right side of the body. So again, once you have found your edge, your limit for here and now, we come to stillness. And we hold, letting the body naturally breathe, release, and experience. And in the spirit of the balance between yin and yang, and the fact that most of the exercises, most of the yoga even that we do, if you've practiced yoga before, is typically still in the spirit of yang, still looking to work the muscles and the joints. But with these deep hold postures in yin, we have a chance to go deeper into the connective tissues of the body, the fascia, that spider web-like casing that is woven throughout the entire body, encompassing everything in it. And that can get very tight, very tense. Let's take 5 more deep breaths here in this half saddle. And as you close your last exhale here, you can reopen the eyes. To come out of this one, maybe you're already leaning over towards the left. If not, do so now, so that you can help that right leg back in front of you. And it's probably going to feel really nice here to take some little up and down motions with the knees, or shake them in and out. You might like to point and flex that right foot a few times. I always find that the best part of any yin yoga practice is that moment of release, right after a posture is over. And we'll come to half saddle on the second side. So if you were using a pillow, you might just pop it on over before you come into position. And eventually, maybe using your hand to bring that foot back towards the hip. Doesn't have to be too close. Maybe you lean over onto the pillow, maybe you stay up tall. Your choice. Letting the top of the foot, top of the left foot, I should say, rest to the mat. And feeling most likely sensation in the front and maybe a little bit the side of your left thigh. One of the beautiful things about Yin Yoga is there's no wrong way to do a pose. There's no single expression of a pose that is better than another. As long as you feel a stretch, that means you're in the right place. And over time, because we do have more time in these yin postures, you might notice that the body is looking for something a little bit different. Maybe that means sitting up a little taller. Maybe it means shifting and coming into that leaning pose. So stillness doesn't have to mean that we remain completely immobile, particularly if the body is asking for something, craving something perhaps. It just means that we have the chance to settle into whatever it is that we have found once we arrive. Five more deep breaths right here. And as that last exhale comes to a close here, opening the eyes, leaning over onto your pillow if you weren't already, and letting the left hand help the left leg back in front of you, finding any little movements here, up and down, in and out. Maybe articulating through that left foot. And whenever you're ready, we'll find a comfortable seat, whatever that looks like for you here and now. Close the eyes one last time together to notice how even just a few minutes, few poses can create differences, shifts, experiences for the body and mind. And as we blink the eyes open, let's bring the hands to prayer in front of the chest, thanking yourself, acknowledging yourself as I thank you. I do hope to practice with you again soon, and I wish you a wonderful day.